most punctual we've ever been. This is fabulous.
Not bad.
How are you? How's Thanksgiving?
Oh, it was good. My wife worked, so just me and the kid, and we hung out with a couple of friends. But how about yourself? How was the weather there in Texas?
It was great. It was actually about 70 degrees on Friday, and then within an hour it came down to 50 degrees. So
Wow.
Cold front end totally changed it, but it's kind of nice to have cold weather. Makes it feel more seasonal and holiday.
More wintry. Alana, say hi to Mr. Michael.
Hi.
Hello, Alana. How are you?
Good.
So cute.
How old are you, Alana?
3.
3?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yes.
Are you 3 days old?
Mm-hmm.
3 days?
Yeah.
No, 3 years.
Ah.
Say 3 years.
3 years.
3 years? Are you sure you're not 3 minutes? So tell me about Thanksgiving, Alana.
What did we do?
I need to tell the guys
Look at the camera. What did we do?
I do.
Remember we went to the friend's house?
Yeah.
To Candyland?
Yeah.
Candyland? Friend's house?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got some round robin going on Candyland with 3 or 4 other adults with Alana. Shade of blast.
So Alana, tell me about Candyland. What is Candyland?
That is when you me princess and a castle, then you get all the treats.
I got part of that. So a castle and you get all the treats, is that right?
Uh-huh.
Can you tell us how to play? What do you do?
I play at a playground.
Playground. Someone's being silly this morning.
Sounds like she knows how to play Candyland.
She does. She was saying that the point of the game is to get the princess to the castle. That's sort of the goal for her, and that's what she likes the most. But I don't know. She's just not, I guess, real comfortable yet. She's pretty shy and squirming around, and
She's opening up more. I would say that's kind of the initial blast we got out of her. So bit by bit, we'll get her cranking.
Yeah.
So it sounds like she can fully play Candyland. Have you tried other games with her?
Pardon, Michael? Sorry, she was yelling.
That's okay. Have you tried other games beyond Candyland?
Yeah, we have a game called Cherry-O, which is you have a basket and you have 8 cherries or 9 cherries, and you spin a wheel to see how many cherries you either put into the basket or conversely put back onto the tree. It's a good counting game. She likes that. Mm-hmm. I think that pretty soon she'll be ready to kind of step it up and go to a more difficult game. I'm not really sure what game that would be or what we should get, but I think she's almost.
It sounds like she's got rule following down. Is that accurate?
Pretty close. She still tried. I mean, she tried to cheat the other day when I wasn't looking. She stacked the deck. But yeah, definitely, she by and large knows the rules. And one time she thought I was cheating, and I was trying to stack the deck so it would favor her, so she'd have more fun. Yeah. And she caught me. She says, "Are you cheating?"
But that she really grokks rule following. The fact that she knows both what rules are and what violations of rules are.
Yeah. And when she's at playgrounds, she often tells other children that they're breaking rules. Like, so I have to explain to her that we're not their parents, and it's not our place. But she'll see a child doing something that she thinks is dangerous, and she'll want to run over and say, "Hey, you need to stop, safety reasons."
Well, there you go. I mean, it might be a little bit early to start checkers, but you might try checkers. It sounds like she could, without sort of being competitive. I could imagine playing around with the whole checkers thing and just having fun. Hopping and taking checkers off, and there's, before you get into the intellectually sophisticated part, there's just sort of a fun dynamic play part.
Sure.
And I could see her, she likes Candyland is great because candy, what's not what to like, and there's all that. So checkers is a bit more abstract, but I could see her getting into that. And with something like that, once she knows the rules for checkers, you can just check in every once in a while, every month, 2 months, 3 months, to see when she's ready to start really playing.
Right.
And,
You know, the other game that I tried with her the other day was tic-tac-toe.
ah,
And she seemed to get it. She you know, she didn't really understand the strategy yet and wasn't exactly lining it up. But she actually won once because I kind of helped her.
right.
And then when she lost, she was so disappointed. I made her want to play more, and so we played 2 more games because of that. So,
Yeah.
but checkers is a good one.
Well, you know, a whole other strand, I don't know how much we've talked about, is I see cognitive games as a really natural, spontaneous way to develop intellectual ability a lot. You know, we've talked a lot about how just you and your wife interacting with her and talking with her and engaging with her, fantastic for cognitive development. But in terms of learning to apply abstract rule sets and then learning to think strategically with abstract rule sets, you know, in some ways it sounds kind of heavy for talking about these things with the 3-year-olds. But I think, you know, if you think like this, yeah, you just tic-tac-toe is kind of great. And, you know, you're such a great observer. You can sort of observe the extent to which she's thinking abstractly and applying the rules and then going to that higher level of thinking strategically and creatively about the application of those rules. And then with no pressure, you can imagine how, suppose at the age of 4, she's already a pretty sophisticated checker player, or 5, you know, wow. And then go from checkers to chess and maybe Go and programming. And, you know, I see a lot of, so I think of this almost as a logic curriculum. You know, I'm very capable at math, and I think it's because logic comes naturally to me. And so when I created a Montessori middle school at Palo Alto, we had children all the way down to pre-K. And one of the things I was working on with them is getting children to play logic games as early as possible. Again, no pressure and so forth, and all play, but just understanding that, you know, training their minds to think logically. Make sense?
Yeah, no, definitely. So the other game that we play is kind of like a puzzle game, and it's about so it has various human body parts in photos, and then it has matching pieces that are in words. So you have to match the word with the picture, or vice versa.
Yeah.
And so we started doing that, and she actually likes that game a lot. She has the attention span for about 5 to 7 cards at a time.
Right.
So she'll pick up a picture of lungs or a stomach or a bone,
Right.
and then we help her sound out the word. And then she has to go find the word. You know, if it's bone, it's B-O, so B-O, and you know, and she doesn't really spell it out yet. Like, I kind of have to show her which card has the right word.
Yep.
But she's interested in it, and she thinks that game is just as much fun as Candyland, and I think Candyland is a lot more fun. So, whenever she wants to play it, I'm happy to do it.
Well, and I think this, you know, a lot of this is, I think some parents, you know, will let kids be kids and, you know, don't want to push them. On the other hand, there is the kind of stereotype of the, you know, tiger mom, or, you know, these anxious parents are always pushing kids. I think in between those extremes is very gently perceiving the zone of proximal development. It's a fancy term from Vygotsky, a Russian educational theorist. But the notion that, you know, I think we're all actually happier when we're stretched somewhat.
Right.
And I think many people who believe in alternative education are hostile to the notion of pushing kids because they are wounded themselves by overly aggressive parents and school that didn't fit them. Yet I find that, yeah, you know, you can just very naturally, by being observant, see where Alana's next frontier is, and constantly, you know, put her in these cognitive situations where she's stretched just a bit, but it's fun for her. Would you say that's kind of what you're doing already?
Well, we're trying. I certainly believe in kind of pushing a child a little bit, not too much. I don't want to be overbearing, and trying not to set standards. And I think that if they're pushed just on their own outside of the confines of being on a team, or I don't know. I mean, my background was, I mean, and I know it's a real mistake to always go back to my own background, but it's the only background I have to go off of.
Hey, it's honest.
And
More honest than most people about that.
yeah, no, it's the truth. But like, there was like in sports, my dad pushed us a lot. He always had me play with kids who were older and bigger.
Yeah.
In batting practice, the balls always came faster. Same thing in fielding practice, and I certainly got better that way.
Yeah.
But it wasn't all positive. I mean, I was barely physically capable of doing it, so it made my confidence low and whatnot. And would have been better, I think, if I hadn't been pushed quite as hard. So I'm definitely highly aware of that, and I don't want to do that with her.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the only way she's ever going to learn to read is if she learns how to sound out words and
Well, and this is
reads.
why I see it as a matter of kind of gentle stretchings. Maybe instead of pushing, and the metaphor of pushing is, it sounds aggressive. And so I think of it more as kind of gentle stretching. And just to talk about attention span, I think developing a child's attention span so they can focus on one thing for a long time, immensely important. I think one of the biggest problems today is, a lot of young people have zero attention span. So even just when I'm having a conversation with a child, see if I can get it going a little farther. And if they run away, totally cool. Zero pressure, zero, anger or anything. But always kind of observing, can I get them to just hang in there a little bit longer? And,
Right.
because they love you, but, clearly Alana loves you. She wants to understand what daddy's doing. And at some point, she'll go do what she wants to do. And that's totally okay, too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if instead of pushing, we have this metaphor of gently stretching, but also persistently stretching, then I think we can help, lots of people create or develop extraordinary children without any of the kind of angst or bad feeling that you experienced.
Right. You're right. Stretch, not push. That's very good. I like that.
Well, again, we're trying to keep these short every Sunday. Anything else you want to touch bases on before we take off for the week?
What about the holidays? Like, so I was raised Christian. I kind of became fairly strict atheist. My wife is largely atheist. The holidays are fun. Alana thinks Christmas is the world's greatest thing.
Right.
Any thoughts there? We're not pushing atheism. We are going to get a Christmas tree. We're doing gifts, and she wants a chimney for Santa, and we're fine with those fantasies. But what do you think? What's been your
great questions? I'm basically atheist as well, and I've developed a huge respect for ritual and the need for ritual and meaning in people's lives. There's a wonderful author. Her first name's Sarah. I'm forgetting, but I'll send you links, and I can post them later. She does a great, very sophisticated job of talking about the importance of ritual, even for secular peoples. And I think my instinct is that's even more important for children. And so I guess, and I think aggressive atheism is just obnoxious. I think it's worth respecting the kind of mystery of life. I actually love words like mystery and sacred and ritual. So I'm a little bit unusual and, not believing in a guy on the hill sort of thing or on the cloud. And at the same time, I have a lot of respect for the mystery and the sacred and ritual. And so I can imagine, nurturing. And you go back to evolutionary psychology, we evolved in tribes where this seems to have been a part of humanity for millions of years. And so why would we kind of rip that part of humanity away from a child? Different book. Have you ever read Julian Jaynes, The Origin of Consciousness and the Breakdown of the Bicameral Mind?
No, I haven't. Sounds like a good one.
Really beautiful. And it's written from the perspective very much kind of a secular scientist. Julian Jaynes was a Princeton psychologist, but more than almost any secular scientist, he has tremendous respect for the needs of the human organism for meaning. He basically thinks of that we evolved kind of with a left brain that's kind of analytical and rational, and a right brain that is, mystery and the voice of God and so forth. He thought that played a specific role, which is somewhat controversial, but that he has an appreciation for kind of the poetic in human life, and he has a specific cognitive understanding or rational understanding of the right brain and how the right brain functioned in cultures, human cultures. So I don't want to go into it in more depth, but yeah, I would say look for opportunities to sort of give her a beautiful, beauty is another nice word, a beautiful experience around ritual and meaning. And, she'll, all the logic games and stuff, she'll develop to be abundantly rational. There are, some aggressive atheists who are like, oh no, they might believe this or that.
Right.
As long as people are happy and good, I don't care what they believe. And I think ritual and meaning is important. So, each family these days kind of creates their own rituals, but the other thing is you can have fun with it. You can imagine creating a family ritual that is meaningful for all of you, even after she's grown up and she comes home for the holidays and you all do the same thing together. I think it's very nice.
No, it's true. Ritual is something that I was raised with, that I discarded in my own personal life by and large. And I see its importance in my daughter. I see how much my wife is very fond of ritual, even when sometimes I'm not. I'm kind of a Grinch about it all. My favorite season is mango season. My favorite holiday is New Year's Eve, right? And my wife's a little different, you know. She likes the winter, likes, you know, wants to decorate the house and things. So Alana really loves it. So I'm definitely not being a Grinch, but back of my mind is a little fear that it might sink in, and she might say, you know, maybe there really is a God, and I should go to church, and then I'll have issues with that.
I think she's going to love you. You'll develop her to be rational and sane, and you know, and again, I think there's no point in being dogmatic, because you know, you can kind of think through what the parameters of a rational and sane are for you. But you know, that takes us far afield. But I'd recommend, if you were looking for a book, read Julian Jaynes, and then I'll also look up these articles on ritual and kind of give you a kind of rational secular appreciation of the importance of ritual, so that you can be less Grinch-like this season.
Sounds pretty good. Michael, thanks a lot for your time today.
Okay, thank you, Ryan. Have a good week. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.